Hey everybody, what's up? I am DW and welcome back to the first tree. So I had gone through winter and fall, so I'm going to assume there's 2 levels left, summer and spring. I think I'm starting right up in summer. But yeah, let's just go ahead and kind of hop back into this. I'm really scared that this is going to have a super sad ending, which I think is why I haven't really picked it up like I have other games. Usually I just want to kind of play through a game start to finish. But this one, after I did the first episode, I just kind of gave it some time. Which I'm giving The Walking Dead some time. I am going to finish The Walking Dead series. I'm going to download all the other seasons. But I started having stress streams about zombies. So I'm giving that a little break for now as well.
Even at my most distant, at the times when I detested him the most, he kept reaching out.
That's
For a year
knife.
straight, he asked me every week when we were going camping. I thought he was just dense. Eventually, to shut him up, I agreed. We carried out the worn lawn chairs from the garage and set up a cinder block campfire at the site we'd always used behind the house. We walked down the mountain path, talking in the warm sunshine we only got a couple months of the year. Those 3 obsidian rocks shimmered alongside the shore, almost like sparklers pressed against a dark window. I'll never forget that wet stone on my feet, or how those massive mountains looked even bigger in the lake's reflection. I felt small, but grateful. As the sun set, my dad found something I hadn't seen for a long time. The tree where I'd made my first carving when I was 6. I hadn't even carved it. My dad had helped me, but I still called it my tree. Something about seeing my name there made me open up, and we talked about everything that night in that old camouflage tent. I told him how much I loved sketching and design, and how it would be a dream to study architecture in Seattle. I told him how I didn't get along with my friends much anymore, but that I didn't mind being alone. He told me he was there for me, and he joked that if all he had to do was write my name on a tree to finally get me to talk, he would have left me carved logs with novels on them in front of my room every morning. I don't know why it took me that long to realize it, but it was then I knew how much he had sacrificed for me.
God dang it. Okay. Okay, I don't see anything. So last time I felt like I was wasting a lot of time kind of looking around for pieces, so I'm not really going to spend as much time looking around this time, just because all of the little fragments that I'm collecting, they all kind of seem to be on a path that I needed to follow, and so I was exploring and not finding anything. That one's moving. Whoa, okay. What the heck was that? Are there any other stumps? I don't see any. What is that? Is that a grave? I can't see whose name is on it. This game is gonna have a really sad ending. I'm not here for it. Okay, so I gotta find 3 rocks, I guess. There was a memory, and now I can't find it. Okay. I'm guessing I can jump up those rocks. Yeah, okay, yeah, there's stuff up there. Okay. I thought there was one over here. Oh no, okay, up, more up. Oh, it's another of the weird rock thingies. Ah! Okay, one more. Is that a boat? Oh, it's a tent and a sleeping bag. Okay, so I'm guessing back the way that I was in the beginning is going to be where that 3rd rock is. I think that's the memory that I already got. Let's see. Nope.
On our property, there were old abandoned pieces of a shed and car long left unused. I used to ask him all the time who those people were that left all this junk, and I'm sure he got so tired of hearing it that he made up some elaborate stories how a brown bear ate them and haunted the woods afterwards. What's funny is I think it made those people seem more real, growing up thinking they were still hanging out like they couldn't say goodbye. I used to tell my friends how I could swear I saw spirits move near the water, and that always freaked them out. I guess it didn't bother me, because the way I saw it, they were normal people with old cars and sheds, just trying to figure out how to survive and be happy in the middle of nowhere. It was a cool thought that they didn't want to leave, but I was a weird kid.
Well, you had good company since those ghosts like living in a place where they were brutally devoured.
Okay, so I am having a little bit of trouble finding this last rock. Okay. Can I go that way? Wow, this is dark. Like the tone to it just kind of got darker. Not in a creepy way, but oh no! How far can I go? Okay, so there's... oh, nothing over here. But I have to get up. There's a memory. Or maybe it's just around the rock. Let's try going around. This place is kind of like a maze. Ah! I thought I was falling or something. Oh, there's the last rock. There we go. Nope. I don't... There we go. It sounds like something's burning. Or twigs were snapping. Oh. I think I have to go back the way that I came. Did I miss something?
We were happiest underneath the evergreens. We decided it was time to finally map out the hundreds of acres we lived on just to pass the time during the summer. He was only free in the evenings, so I would spend the day wasting time on dial-up internet and sketching, and then we would rush into the woods, pen and map in hand, before evening fell. Sometimes, the aurora borealis would cast a cold green glow on the mountainside, and we would finish our route underneath a twilight sky. Sometimes I was lonely during those summer days, but there was comfort in the routine.
A lot of teenagers aren't looking for the daily grind, though. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get out, to leave your childhood home. You wanted to progress, to make something of yourself.
Yeah, you're right. That house. I'm sure it's the same as how I left it. Then why does it feel so different?
I doubt you're the only adult to have looked back and asked that question.
I can really relate to that. This last year, I went to England twice, and going there and seeing my granddad's house, which I spent a little bit of time growing up in. When I was little, it always felt so big, and then I went back and it just felt so different and small as compared to what I remember.
My dad built a lot of stuff in his free time. If he wasn't watching fly fishing or reading Tom Clancy novels, he was carving something. He made tons of birdhouses. Not that he was into bird watching, but I think he really missed working and adding on to the home. If he couldn't afford the time to build onto our own house, he would have to settle with watching birds move into their little homes. We kept an old mattress in the bed of that ugly yellow truck, so we would drive it deep into the woods and then watch the birds fly into their houses while the sun set. Usually it was accompanied by venison jerky or a cold Coke, but not a lot of talking, which is how we both liked it.
That's a tree. Let me get these real quick. So I think that branch that was all the mattress and the cokes. Aw. I think that branch that was blocking my way is gone, and this is the area that's kind of opened up. Nope, so I haven't even... Huh. I just missed that stuff, I guess? Ugh. What the heck? Wow, that was a glitch. No, no, I almost had it. No. Dang it.
The perpetrator stood nearby,
Whoa, was that a wolf?
unfazed, like nothing was wrong. My dad is dead,
Oh
and he's
no!
never coming
Oh!
back, Rachel. I can tell you these stories, but I can never reminisce with him again. He can never hold a grandchild that we'll probably
No!
never be able to have. I can never talk to him again, and I'll never be able to say I'm sorry for everything.
No. That was like a double whammy. Like, that's 2 of her cubs dead. And his dad is dead. I thought his dad was like dying. And what is this? Is this a wolf? Oh. Whoa. Did I miss one? No, okay. So is the wolf killing her babies? Is that what's happening? Did somebody kill his dad or did his... Oh man. I knew it was gonna be sad and I still wasn't prepared. Is the last baby alive? I really hope the last one is alive. That's beautiful.
I need to go to bed. I just can't talk about this anymore. Good night.
What? That can't be it. Those are letters. Letters from who? Letters from his dad? From... I can't read that! I need to know what's happening! Okay, I don't think there's any glowy things around.
Joseph, you can't go to sleep feeling like this. I'm sorry for everything, and I know you need space, but I'm here for you. You don't need to feel so lost. Joseph, have I ever told you what my mother was like?
This is literally breathtaking. This is... Gosh, I just want to take a second to just kind of... Wow. This is beautiful. I'm really worried that her last cub is dead. And I really don't want it to be. It looks like a deer. So I think this is supposed to be the girlfriend of the wife's mother, like her memory. Aww.
You know what it's like not to have a mom at home.
Origami.
And you know how hard that made my childhood. What helped me was watching the birds in the morning before the school bus came. I thought that my mother was one of those birds, and it made me want to be free like her. My mom taught me how to fold origami cranes while she was in the hospital. So I told myself I would fold one every day until I could fly myself. I think we both have always loved animals.
Aww.
And for me, that love started with a dog. Sometimes this Rottweiler would come up to our property line and wait at the fence for me, but only once in a while. I was sure to check every day immediately after school, and it usually ended in disappointment. I would even steal money from my passed out dad just so I could buy these off-brand dog biscuits. Even when she did stop by, she never went beyond the fence. Why was she so scared? I think my dad was the opposite of your dad in almost every way, except he was in the military as well. He coped with alcohol of every kind. The trailer started falling apart, he got angry, and I withdrew. More and more I became the weird, quiet kid who made lots of origami birds and carried dog biscuits around. I think we were pretty similar when it came to being the weird kids. And that same sincerity in college was one of the reasons I was so drawn to you. Life got worse and worse, and at one point, I really didn't think I could survive another day with my soul still intact. I had no real friends, let alone neighbors, since we lived in the middle of nowhere. I should have talked to my teacher, but I was scared what he would do if he found out. As I waited for the school bus one morning, I walked around until I found something in an abandoned shed. Something I can't put into words. summoned courage I didn't know I had, and I broke into my dad's room and found the key to the shed where he had locked my bike. I'll never forget that feeling, the wind rushing by my ears as the sun rose over fields of wheat. I was flying for the first time. I biked as far as my legs could take me until I found a house that felt friendly, and that felt like home. Those strangers helped me in so many ways. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have found my foster family. And if it wasn't for my parents, I wouldn't have met you.
Aww. Oh, wow.
You have strength, Joseph, and you're not as alone as you think.
It's all just so pointless. Just waiting for life to happen. It's like having the home I always wanted is cursed out of my reach. The thought of being a parent myself. How could I do that when I couldn't even be a good son? I'm sorry. I know what you're saying. I just don't know how things will work out. These quiet hours will turn into years. We'll wonder which roads passed us by.
Then we'll forge a new road together. Besides, I discovered for myself that one fateful morning where any hopeful road leads to. There may be thorns and mist, but it always leads to the same thing.
And what's that?
Family.
I'm so glad that you're part of my family, Rachel.
And I'm glad you're part of mine.
This is such a powerful game. Where did the wolf go? Was the wolf... See, I don't know if the wolf ties into the story with his dad, or if the wolf was like a metaphor for like depression or anger or something like that. But yeah, I'm going to leave this episode here. If you guys like this episode, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You could always drop a comment down in the comment section. And if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do that as well. And make sure the bell icon is turned on. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while I played. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video, okay? Bye!